button. Okay, hello everybody. My name is Morris Patrick. This is my sign name, MP on the side of the head. I am the CEO and founder of this organization, Stolen Children by CPS. And I enjoy my interactions with you and other people for the last 2 years, just gathering information. This has really impacted me hard, just not only my story, but everyone else's stories too. Last month, good news, the IRS did give us a tax exempt status. And so we are moving forward on the paperwork that we need to do. And I'm so excited to be able to share my vision with you. What is the reason for starting this organization? What are we going to do? What are our agendas going to look like in the future? And then we'll have an open chat at the very end, okay? So here are some rules. Please hold your questions till the end because we only have the interpreters for 30 minutes. And so I'm just going to do the presentation. And then after that, we don't need the interpreters. We'll just stay in the chat room and we'll be able to chat back and forth. And we do have two interpreters. We have Mr. Keith Wan, who is voicing for me right now. He'll be voicing this whole presentation. And the second is our certified deaf interpreter, Mr. James Smith, who will be interpreting for the deaf audience. The two things on my agenda today, pro se training. What does that mean? What does that term mean? That means without an attorney, without a lawyer, uh, that you will be self-representing in court. And then the second thing we're going to talk about is the fundraising discussion. What is our goal? Why was this organization started? So now pro se. If you want to file yourself, if you want to act as the attorney, the lawyer yourself in federal court without hiring an attorney, if you want to act on your own behalf, there are things that you need to do. And the first thing is Google. Google is your best tool. Use google.com and research your area, your county, your city. For example, I live here in the Los Angeles area in Southern California, Los Angeles County. And so there are federal courts and there are districts. And I have to find out what is my area. And it's going to tell me, what is my local district, my federal district, where the courts are for me. Also, it's very important to understand your state laws. State law requirements for CPS child removal. I know what they are for California. And there's a lot of laws, there's a lot of codes for here in California. We have different codes and different laws. What are the requirements that CPS needs to have before they can take a child out of the home? And if they were to break one of these codes, one of these laws, then you can use that law code saying this is what was violated. And plus, there are also local rights too. Maybe they didn't use a warrant properly. Maybe they had the rights amendments. There were some amendments, that they had the right to take the child to from the parents, so they were in the right. So you're going to find all that information. And that's just, when you do, make sure you bookmark those sites, bookmark those pages. So you don't worry about another state, another county. Go to what pertains to your area. Find out what is for your local court. For example, let's talk about Georgia, understanding state laws. I'm going to give Georgia as an example. There are some emergency removal, judicial oversight, and reasonable efforts. So let's talk about emergency removal. The CPS may be able to do that under Georgia Code 15-11-133, last revision done in 2020 regarding the removal of a child. So they have to follow these three bullet points. Is it an emergency removal? Is it a judicial oversight? Is a court saying this is what we want to do and we have 72 hours to do this? This is the reason why we're doing it. And then reasonable efforts. CPS must show that there was reasonable efforts made. And so this is for Georgia. And if any of these were violated, any of these were not followed, you have the right to file a lawsuit. And I think the Fourth or Fifth Amendment warrant violation, you can ask the court for that one. The third would be rights, parent rights. So there's a lot of rights that could be violated that you want to add to your complaint. So please make sure you Google your state and what CPS laws and code are there when you decide to sue the federal government. One of the things I envisioned for this company is fundraising. Parents against CPS. The good news is the five of us parents, have already filed in LA County a couple years ago, 3 years ago. And it was like, it's been a process. It's been a fight, arguing with the county, disagreeing with the county. And finally, we're in the discovery phase of this, which means there are some record releases that we can look at to see what was their evidence, what did they use to make their decision, what did they follow, what did they not follow. So we can send this and bring it up in the argument part of the court. So hopefully we should be done by March with the discovery, which means either it'll be settled or we'll go to trial. Because if they did do some violations. If we go to trial, then we need to start another process. And that'll probably, if we do go to trial, be this spring or summer. Again, that depends on what we find in discovery. That's going to end in March. I have two friends, and they're currently in law school right now. They do want to become attorneys. They want to advocate for your rights. Like, for me too. I'm going to be finishing my master's degree in 2026, and then after that, I will be finishing at the law school. And the three of us, we've had experience with pro se. We've done it. We've done it ourselves, and so that's the reason why we want to become attorneys, is to advocate for your rights. Our goal, our vision includes some property that I've located. There's some nice locations in this California area where we're at. The two different locations. One is a building. These buildings are on the same property that I looked at. These two different buildings. One would be great in the front part for people to socialize and interact, and then in the back part would be the office. That's where we'd have the advocacy and the court filings and meeting with the attorneys. So we'd be able to do that. Whereas the front part, a social coffee place. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to help people file federal cases, without having any front fees. Because a lot of lawyers charge upfront fees, which can be a barrier. It can impact a lot of parents' decision to move forward or not. It's that financial burden, that financial barrier. And so we want to just help. We want to help, not many parents are able to afford it. We just want a nominal fee, as we're filing the paper. And so some of the services we want to provide include court watch. Definitely want to do a court watch, see what's going on there. We will be training some court watchers. So, we'll have some parents that be able to call into our service and say, hey, this is going on. We need help over here. Let's make sure justice is followed. Let's make sure the judge follows the law. Let's make sure, there's no violation of judicial branch. And let's make sure they are following the law. And then if we were able to go there and watch them in person, and we did see the judge violate something, then we can file for a state judicial hearing. We can report the violation. And second is workshops. We want to have workshops to educate parents about their rights. We want parents to be empowered to know what they can do. We also want to get licensed attorneys and legal assistants. We want to have this group be parents, parents who have been involved in this process, parents who have done the pro se. And also, we want to get some legal assistance, answering the calls, working the desk, filing the papers. While the lawyers are doing what they need to do, let's get them some support. Another one is administrative support, which would be including secretaries, answering the phone, whatever the office needs, uh, backup support. Along with that, all staff we're only going to hire parents who have personally experienced CPS abuse. So from the top through the whole organization down, we want to have it be parents who had this experience, who are having this experience, because we're here to advocate. We want to make sure you are recognized and you get paid and you are in these positions to help others. So now, talking more about this coffee shop in front. This coffee shop in front, business in the back, the law proceedings, the law discussions in the back. The coffee shop, a social place, a social event. We want it to be an open place. We want to have families come here so we can empower them in our fight against CPS. We'll also be serving some food. We'll have breakfast and lunch menus. We'll have healthy choices, local foods. We'll have tea. We'll have coffee. We'll have fresh food every single day, not made from the company, but fresh bread made from scratch. And these are some of the things that we can set up: a friendly environment where customers can connect and, most importantly, share stories, have that connection and feel supported. Also, we want to provide workshops in the coffee house. The office is just going to be a little part of it, but we also would like to have a meeting area or a workshop area where we do meet with customers, we do meet with families, and also we are doing workshops and small events. Let's go back to what we're going to offer. Let's go back to that menu. It's going to be a delicious menu. Like I said, breakfast and lunch options designed to attract both locals and families. We'll have coffee, tea, fresh baked. He goes, why am I repeating myself? I just said this. So we already talked about that. So we go on to the next slide. 100% of all the profits from the coffee shop will go directly to support funding the legal support, helping families file federal lawsuits without those upfront fees that I talked about. We're not here. We're not here to take the money. We want to pour that back in to the families that need it. We want to pour it back into our staff. We're going to help those families. We want to make sure those parents who are working for us also get paid too. And then we'll have some lawyer fees and court fees. And again, I just want to emphasize our staff are only going to be parents who have had personal experience with CPS abuses. Wow. Okay. In 15 minutes, we did a nice little overview. And let me go ahead and open up the video. 1 second. Stop the recording.